Guys, it's so good to be back. I know, where the hell have I been? Life's gotten just pretty hectic, really busy with work and life, and summer vacations and whatnot, but I'm so happy to be back. And what better way to come back than with a complete review and a makeup tutorial on, are you ready for this one? Like, if you're not sick of hearing this palette's name, the Subculture palette. Yeah, I had to, I had to. It's definitely a very unique palette. So yeah, this is the look that I created. I've also created a couple other looks on my Instagram page if you want to check them out. And yeah, if you want to see how I accomplish this look, just keep on watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, this is a really scary sight, but let's get started anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyes and do my brows really quick. I've been doing my eyes before my complexion, and it actually is a lot easier because it's less cleanup in the whole thing. So I'm going to use Bye Bye Under Eye Illuminating Concealer. I actually had, so you can, I don't know if you could tell, but I have like almost like redness and a little bit of puffiness. I had a really bad, not really bad, but an uncomfortable allergic reaction, and I'm pretty sure it's from my Tarte Shape Tape concealer, which is really disappointing. And I looked up the chemicals, and it is because there's like some type of fragrance in it, which can typically cause a little bit of irritation if you have sensitive skin. So anyway, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this to just buff it out. And this is just to prime my lids. Okay, so now that I primed my lids, I'm gonna start filling in my brows, and I usually use the Anastasia Brow Wiz, but I realized that it was done with, like it was empty. So I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. It's my first time using this, but I had it there and I just figured, let me give it a try. It's not bad actually. It's not waxy or anything. Okay, now that we have a little bit of a brow situation and we have primed our lids and we're looking extra pale, let's start with, dun, 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 dun. Is anybody sick of hearing about this? Not I. Okay, I'm really excited to use this actually. Fact is, it really didn't matter what anybody was gonna say about it. I was still going to want to get my hands on it because it's just one of the most interesting palettes that I've seen in quite a long time, and I just had to try it out for myself. So let's get started. But before we do that, I'm going to place a little bit of translucent powder, my RCMA, just, oh, maybe that was a little bit too much, over my base to help us have like a nice clean canvas to start our work. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a Morphe Rose Gold. The number has rubbed off. I'll try and find it. If I do, I will link it down below. And I'm going to start in with, let's see, I'm gonna start in with Dawn, and I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna place that as my first transition color. I'm not even gonna show you like the fallout or whatever, because I haven't really had that much of an issue with it. And I'm just going to place that as my transition color. Okay, now moving on, I'm gonna go in with New Wave. I love this color, by the way. It's just so pretty. I love it. So I'm going to dip into that, and I'm gonna add that onto my transition shade and warm it up a bit. Always extend my shadow out a bit. If you happen to hear a little bit of snoring, that would be my pit bull, who's right over there sleeping as usual. Now going in to access this color, we're gonna try it out. We're gonna try and go in with the M433 from Morphe, and we're going to just also slightly start depositing some color in the outer V. Okay, so basically we're just going to deposit some color in the outer V And what I like to do and I recommend for this particular palette is to place the product before you even attempt to blend, so that you don't have any of these blending issues that a lot of people are having a difficult time tolerating. Remember, this is gonna look a little nutty, but don't worry, we're gonna go in and clean it up. All this I just got from basically 1, maybe 2 taps. That's pretty good. For the sake of just not being distracted by the shape that is obviously not our intention to have, I'm just gonna wipe off that excess powder so that we can see more of the shape that we're trying to create. We're gonna go back to New Wave, that beautiful, like almost like, you know what it reminds me of? Sunny Delight. Do you guys remember Sunny Delight? It's like that like yellow, like tangerine type of color. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of. So I'm gonna go back into that, and I'm just going to place a little bit more. But I'm really trying to avoid getting into that access color, because I don't want it to get muddy. So I think one of the key ideas to this palette is being able to give each shadow a home of its own, if you will, and not completely blending colors that on a color wheel you usually would not blend, because they will give you a grayish tone or they will appear patchy or whatnot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a little bit of concealer on this little part, and I'm going to use that as a base to make the next color that I add just a little bit more bold. I'm just going to carve out where I want that shape to be. Okay, and now going in with the star of the show, I've yet to really use this shadow, so I'm actually quite really excited about it. And that is going to be Electric. This is really cool shade with a clean M124, and I'm gonna pick up some product there, and I'm gonna try placing that as well. Now, as you can see, I'm just using this really gentle patting motion, because what I want to do is I want to place product. I'm not trying to like blend it in, because I don't want to lose any of the pigment. Just like so. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty though. Very nice. Now I'm going to go back in with that rose gold, and I am going to try and blend some of the edges out from Electric, but steering pretty clear away from Axis, that blue color. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that cube color, which looks pretty white on camera or in pictures, but it does have like a pinkish iridescence to it, and since that is the most appropriate, I'm going to use that as my highlighter up my brow. I'm going to go back with that M433 that I used with Axis, that blue color, and I'm going to grab the slightest bit, and I just want to make sure that these two shadows, Electric and Axis, sort of just merge into each other. I don't want you to see like a clear definition between one color and the next. I really want these little edges to be blended out, and these work well together, so you don't have to be afraid of any crazy patchiness or anything like that. As you can see, it's almost creating like a subtle merging of colors, and you can see it, and it almost creates really beautiful like little color right here, almost like very mermaid like. We are going to leave this just like this, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup, and I think I'm going to shorten that wing and just clean it up just a bit. Okay, we're gonna leave that just like that for now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of my face. I'm going to do foundation and bronzing and the whole bit, and then I'm going to continue on with the eyes, with the under eyes, and complete the look. So I'm going to go take care of that, and I will be right back. All right, so we're just going to get this look all done, and I'm going in with a black waterproof gel pencil liner. We're going to place this inner waterline, and I'm not going to go all the way in. I'm just keeping this on the outer part, my waterline, just like so. And using the same Morphe M508. This is one of my favorite brushes to go in on the under eye. It's just so good. Now we're gonna go into Access, and we are going to start adding that. Be very careful, it's super pigmented. So what I did as far as the inner corners, and you can see there's a bit of a highlight there, I just used a bit of the highlighter that I use because I just felt like it needed a little bit of a pop. So I actually went in with Electric all the way into my inner corner, but I did go in with the Jeffree Star and Manny MUA collab. Okay guys, this is the finished look. Nothing feels better than to finish filming and just saying that this is the finished look, because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm really happy with the way that the look turned out. I have used the Subculture palette for total probably like a 5 time. This is probably my 5th time, and I have also used it on somebody else, actually on 2 different people that I did makeup for. I used it and it's worked out pretty well. I'm just gonna say it, I like the palette, okay? The looks that I was a little bit nervous because the looks that I created on myself and on the other people using this palette were very safe colors, using this really pretty, beautiful, adorned color, just using these warm tones, which is very, really like my comfort range, my comfort area. So I really wanted to do something a little bit more vibrant, using some more of the daring colors in the palette. And so I said, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm hoping for the best, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Bottom line is, I actually really like this palette, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I like it is because there's been such an overload of new product releases from makeup companies, and it's great, it's exciting, but it just gets to be a little overwhelming when pretty much everything on the market ends up being very similar to the last release. And let's face it, guys, the consumer is getting very intelligent. The consumer is a lot smarter, a lot more knowledgeable, and we want something that's gonna really wow us. So this definitely was something really different. We really needed something that was just gonna get everybody talking. However, this has been on everybody's tongue for quite some time now. It's been so controversial. I mean, it's just makeup, guys. But to play devil's advocate, I will say this is probably not like a palette that I would purchase, let's say, for a friend that doesn't have a lot of experience using makeup. I don't think that's a beginner palette. I think that if you're doing makeup constantly and you have knowledge about makeup and formulas and brushes and application techniques, and very importantly, if you have some experience with color theory, I think you'll be fine, and you'll be able to, you know, really get really creative with this palette. And that's really always very exciting, just to be able to like get creative. Obviously, some of the looks that you're going to create are not your everyday wearable looks, but it's still a lot of fun. So I really like it. I haven't really seen any of the craziness, but I have also adapted my application techniques to the formula, to the palette, and I've worked with it. Not everybody's gonna have the patience to do that, and it's like, why should you? You know, there's so many products out there. You know, I get it, you know, it's not for everybody, but I really like it, and it's one of the products that I have been most excited about. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm so glad to be back, It feels like forever, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and yeah, check me out on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye.